Okay, so we all know that Pinterest is a great source of traffic for bloggers. And the key to Pinterest is number one, it's a search engine. So you definitely want to be using keywords in the description for your pins. And number two, it's visual. So Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, those are all places where people go to be social. They go to interact with one another and, communicate and like and leave messages and that kind of thing. Pinterest is a place where people go to learn, discover, do, buy. These are all the actions of somebody who is on Pinterest. They're not there to connect with any other person. Certainly, they're there to find out what their favorite blogger has been doing lately and, read their newest post and that kind of thing. But um, they can also just do that by going to the blog. So, people are happy to just kind of scroll through Pinterest and see what's going on. And so you really want to make sure that your Pinterest pins are jumping out at people and attracting them and saying, hey, there's really awesome information in here. Come check it out. Um, you also want to make sure that you're not trying to be everything for everybody. You have a niche, you have a specific group of people who you have a target audience and they have a specific problem that you can be helpful for. And so you just want to be thinking about those people. So when I say Pinterest and appealing to Pinterest, I'm talking about the Pinterest algorithm, not Pinterest people. You want to be thinking about, your people specifically. So there's two design programs that you can use to make your Pinterest pins, PicMonkey, and this one is called Canva. I have used both. There's awesome benefits to both. Um, I am not a designer. We have a marketing company. My husband is the designer. He is amazingly talented. I am not a designer. So I use PicMonkey because it just or pardon me, I use Canva because there's templates in here. It has things just kind of really easy to get inspired. And if you want a little more creative freedom when you're making your pins, then you can use PicMonkey. But I'll do a video for each that shows you how to make a pin on each. So I'm going to start with PicMonkey. And the first thing that you're going to do is go to a stock photo site. You can go to a free stock photo site. I use Pixabay, Pixabay, or you can pay for stock photos. If you're just starting out, I suggest using the free ones. So I'm going to go ahead and I've gone to Pixabay at this point, and I found a picture that I want to use, and I'm going to grab it and I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to open this one and drop that into Pinterest, and it's not the size that I want it to be, so I have to crop it. And Pinterest wants things to be 735 by 1100, and so you can see over here that this is 200 by 300. So I'll apply that crop, but then I want to go down here and resize and make it 735 by 1100 and apply that. And so that is my canvas. That's my Pinterest canvas. And so then I want to add an overlay to make sure that when I put the words on the pin, they stand out, because right now if I put them on here, they would be going over this image back here. And when you're looking for pins, especially in the free sites, you want to be thinking about, okay, where would I put the title? And I don't try to get fancy because, like I said, I'm not a designer, and I really just want my people to be able to get a clear understanding of what's going on in that post. And so I just, don't mess around too much with all of the design aspect of it. So this is my overlay, and obviously black is not good. So I go over to here and I change it to white. And this right here is the color. So 6Fs is white. And then I mess around with the fade a little bit because I want it to be clear that there is a plant growing back there. I just don't want it to interfere with the colors of the words. And some people will tell you that, they've tested this and a certain percentage of fade makes a difference and that kind of thing. You'll have to kind of play with that yourself and see if any of that makes a difference. I haven't noticed that it does. And then go over to the text. And for me personally, like I said, I don't try to mess around too much with the design. And I just I use one font that I like, or one kind of style of font, this sans serif. So these are all part of that font grouping. And then there's these that are just serif, and then there's handwriting text, and there's a bunch of different kind of groupings. And I just tend to stay right in here because first of all, they're at the top of the list, so I don't have to scroll, and they just do the job for me. So you can kind of cruise around on Pinterest and see if there are different font pairings that you like. I would just suggest that once you find one, you kind of stick with it and make all of your pins in that font pairing. So you just go up to add text, and it'll drop a little box in here, and you can kind of line it up to where you want it to be. I try to make sure that the font starts centered, and this is going to be, and I try to make sure that there's no more than 4 lines of title. And so the title itself is, because this is an image, so the title itself is not SEO. It doesn't affect one way or the other. It's the description of the pin, which we put into the alt text in that Yoast video. So you can title this whatever you want to. It doesn't have to match the title of your post. It doesn't have to have the keywords in it. You could title it whatever you want it to be. So if we were doing the thigh muscle post, you could just say, I don't know, 4 exercises to, and then, build strong, beautiful thigh muscles or something along those lines. And so what you can do with this here is just grab that and just pull it so that it is kind of stretching the copy or the words, and make it, as big as you want it to be. I like to stretch it all the way to the edge of the pin, because like I said, people are scrolling through. 90% of people on Pinterest are on their phones. And so I just want people to be able to see what's going on in that post. But I also want it to be pretty. So instead of using the different font pairings, I use color. And so you'd go down here to this bar and click it, and a little eyedropper comes up, and then you can kind of cruise around in the picture and pick a color that you think is complementary. And then I just control copy that text box, and then control paste. And then I have something that is exactly the same size, and then build strong. And you can kind of mess with the size of this and make it, all the way to the edge like you want it to be. And then, use that eyedropper again to change that color to something that's complementary in the text or in the picture, that stands out.